Greetings to each and all, effortless abundance and more abundance to the people. This evening I am going to speak a little bit about the law. So we're going to talk about commercial English, which is legalese, and that is how they're screwing the people, because they've constructed the system that call legalese. That's why you have legal definition of words and legal terms. And for the people who are not trained in legalese, when they go into these venues or into any contracts, etc., they're signing off and things and not knowing what it means. And the law grants everyone to have what you call informed consent, which means that ones have to be fully in comprehension of anything before they sign or any proceedings whatsoever. And the lawyers would never tell you that. So we're going to break it down a little bit this evening, and I'm only the messenger, so don't shoot me down. So let's get right into it. So there is only two type of crime that can be committed, and that is hurting someone or damaging their property, etc., etc. Under the legal system, there is no crime being committed with these victimless crime. For example, when somebody get charged for possession of a firearm, in the legal term, the firearm means that the arm has to be discharged. In order for it to be deemed to be firearm, it has to be discharged. Under the Second Amendment gave us the rights to protect ourselves and to bear arms at all times, translated to Section 7 of the Charter and Rights of Freedom. So Canada do have the provisions of the right to bear arms, but they're using the words and screwing the people over, because people are agreeing to have firearm and gun and all of these other derivative that puts you back into a copyright breach. For example, everyone that got charged for possession of a firearm or an illegal firearm, etc., the arresting constable would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the arm was indeed discharged, because they're charging you pursuant to the criminal code of Canada. In the same criminal code in Canada gave the legal definition of a firearm. Now, for an arm to deemed to be a firearm, it has to be discharged. So it doesn't matter how it's discharged, if it's discharged in the air or you intend to harm somebody or whatever. Once it's discharged, now you're in possession of an illegal firearm. But they find it in your peaceful keep, not discharged, it's not a firearm. You have the rights to bear arms pursuant to Section 7. Obviously, they use different wording to disguise it, but that's why people have to learn the legal definition of words. I'm going to give another example. Marijuana. Everybody that goes to jail for marijuana is in breach of copyright material. I don't know what marijuana is. I've never seen that before. I know herb, which herb is a natural inhabitant of the earth, and it does not harm anyone. So if somebody has an issue with herb, take it up with the herb, not me. That's why they could never say you're in possession of herbs. They're going to say marijuana because it has a legal definition and it is patent and copyright for the justice system. And if you agreeing to have marijuana, you're breaching the copyright. So if anyone was in court and stated that they did not have marijuana or denied the marijuana allegation and invoke that they had herbs, the case would have been dismissed. So once again, as we're talking about it, they're using the words and fucking the people. Now that leads us back to gun. Gun is also the same thing as marijuana. When you say you have a gun, it's a patent word, it's copyright. You don't own patent rights to that word, so you're breaching copyright material. You have to deny the allegations. I don't have a gun. I have an arm. The Constitution, the Charter, gave you the rights to bear arm. It's an extension of your arm. So you got to understand that the justice system under Admiralty Maritime Jurisdiction, which is administrative justice, they're only dealing with paperwork, not facts. You guys got to understand that these motherfuckers don't care if you hurt somebody or you harm somebody. They're just trying to make some money. All of these court venues is just a money-making mechanism. Every fucking docket number is a QSIP for the IMF. They're trading bonds and securitized instruments. It has nothing to do with your rights. And that is facts. And also bear in mind that I am treading lightly with information here. I'm giving y'all like 5% of the jam because I don't want no one to take this information and go run with it and not fully aware of what they're doing. I'm not gonna put weapons into minors' hands, just put it that way. So at the same time, I hereby have a platform where I teach the information, and all are welcome to join as long as they're looking to use this knowledge for the divine purpose. Because if you're looking to use it for fuckery, the Most High is not gonna unlock your brain so you can dissect this information. So bear that in mind. And obviously I'm not fearful of nothing, so I can say whatever I want to say on the internet. They already know who I am. I already declare myself. I'm a living man in appropriate capacity and sovereign and indigenous capacity. I don't stand short of a statute, codes, or bylaw that they're pushing. So bear that in mind. And with that being said, I'm going to discuss one more. Drivers, and there is a legal definition of the word driver. It puts you in a commercial capacity. So every time you're on the roadways and you agree to be driving rather than traveling, it puts you at a commercial capacity that you're getting paid to use, the roadways. So now, every time a policy enforcers give you a ticket alluding to a driving infraction or a driving offense, they would have to come to court and prove beyond reasonable doubt that you were getting paid for your journey, your trip, that you're transporting goods, a passenger, or you're doing a service, etc. for a monetary exchange. You traveling privately, non-commercially, you're not in a driving capacity, but they put it in place and mandate the driver's license so they can place everyone in a commercial capacity to defraud your ass. That's what's happening. And that is how they commercialize the people, by capitalizing the name of the strawman, the estate, John Doe, the all cap, that puts you in a commercial jurisdiction. And so they deal with you and treat you like a corporation, because a corporation cannot run itself. So they take power of attorney, and that's why the government can make decisions on your behalf without your consent. So at the end of the day, that is how the slavery is continuing, pursuant to the Abolition Act of 1833. It stated that the slavery, physical slavery has been concluded, but the slave trade continues. And in the Emancipation Declaration of 1834, stated that each and every man have to make their own declaration, or else the system will assume that you are a slave. So if you're going around identifying as your driver's license, birth certificate, etc., you are a legal slave. And that leads us to the next two words, resident and citizens. So to reside means that you are dead. Only the dead can reside. Are you in a cemetery? Like, you domicile, you don't reside, and you can only live in your body because the body is not you. It's the light within, the consciousness. But that's a whole different conversation for another time. We have to also realize that when you say you're a citizen of Canada, United States citizens, Jamaican citizen, or whatever there might be, bear in mind that these are corporations running a colony. So by you identifying as a Canadian citizen, that you saying that you're a legal slave, because Canada is a colony operating under democratic colonial operation under the doctrine of the discovery, which has been repelled already, by the way. But these motherfuckers continuously operating because the people do not know, and we are the government, not these corporate entities posing as a country under the UN and tricking the people. But once again, I'm not going too further into this because I'm not looking to be here all night. I'm just looking to spread some information. And it is the age of Aquarius, as I stated. Consciousness has returned for its land. Christ consciousness. The God is not coming. Jesus is not coming to save you. The God is within you, and you have to save yourself. And that's by you enlightening, raising your vibration, and raise your consciousness so you can see things rather than believe in fuckery. So excuse my language, but I'm gonna cut it off here, and I hope y'all were able to learn a thing or two. Follow my page, hit up my platform.